My name is Brian Jondro. I'm the principal here, and as I said, we're just so excited to welcome you and begin this journey that for you is going to, I hope, be the most incredible, exciting. There will be challenges, but the next 4 years are going to be great for all of you. Tonight, we have a number of goals for our evening. We're really hoping that you walk away with a general kind of knowledge about what it means to be a Gorham High School RAM, that you have an opportunity to hear from students and staff about this experience, and that you, I forgot the middle one, there it is. What's an overview of what it means to be a ninth grader here at Gorham High School? So, before I go any further, let me tell you just a little bit about who we are by the numbers. We have about 800 students here at Gorham High School, 100 plus staff every single day that come into this building. So think about that. That's about 8 students for every 1 adult here at the high school. On any given day, we maintain a 94+% attendance rate. I think one of the things that you're going to hear today is the importance of attendance. Making sure you're here every single day, doing the best job that you can do. 94% graduation rate, that is well above the state average, and we're really proud of that number. And a lot of that has to do with the support that students get, not only from staff, but from parents, and us working together to make sure that your son or daughter reaches that stage at graduation time. 55% of our students go on to a 4-year school, 30% to a 2-year school, and 75% of our students are involved in extracurricular activities of some kind. You're going to hear this over the course of the evening. The two top things that you can do to be successful at Gorham High School is to show up, just be here, and to do your homework and to be involved. Do those, I said do those 3 things, and you will be successful at Gorham High School. So, if you've been a student in the Gorham schools for a long time, you're probably familiar with these core values. They are the same core values that set the foundation for the journey all the way from kindergarten through high school. We refer to these often here. We have conversations all the time as a staff with students about these core values. A number of years ago, actually not so long, like maybe 5 or 6 years ago, right before the pandemic, we had our business roundtable here speaking to the staff. And I will never forget when Sean Moody pointed to our core values and said, these are the things that we look for in a GHS graduate. We can teach the students the rest of the things we need them to learn, but it's these things that we want to see when we're hiring people to come work in our company. If you are a parent in the room, and I were to ask you, what are the 3 R's of education? You would probably say reading, writing, and arithmetic. We tend to think about those 3 R's a little bit differently here at Gorham High School. Relationships, relevance, and rigor. Beginning now, we want to build strong relationships with our students so that we can know who they are, so that we can know what their interests are, so that we can know where they see themselves in 4 years, in 10 years, beyond, so that we can begin preparing the most relevant, the most meaningful education experience that we possibly can for them. Raise your hand if you've ever sat in a class and it didn't seem like it was all that relevant to you. Like, well, how am I going to, everybody, right? How am I going to use this in life after high school? We know that when we can make learning relevant and meaningful, we can challenge our students to be the best versions of themselves, to challenge themselves at rigorous levels where they can then pursue their dreams after high school. Relationships, relevance, and rigor. All right, I am going to turn it over to Miss Texera, who is one of our school counselors. This is our counseling team right here. There's 4 school counselors and 2 secretaries. And Miss Texera is going to tell you a little bit about our counseling department, supports that we have at Gorham High School, and other interesting information. There's your mic. And there's your clicker.
Oh gosh. It doesn't usually let me have this. I'm excited to do that. Hi everyone, I'm Samantha Texera. I am one of the school counselors here at the high school. And I have to say that this is one of my favorite parts of my job, is supporting the 8th to 9th graders in their transition to high school. So yesterday we started our annual transition week to the high school, and I was in the classroom, or excuse me, I was in the auditorium with a lot of friendly faces and just starting to get to know you, talking a lot about the things that Mr. Johnner was talking about. And we're going to continue discovering more about what the high school has to offer over the next couple of days. So I'm very much looking forward to that, and I hope the students are too. So these are our school counselors, but like Mr. Johnner said, there are 4 of us. We have 2 secretaries as well. You'll hear us talk a lot about the differences between the middle school and the high school, and one of them in particular is that every student at the high school is assigned a school counselor. And you can see our alphabet breakdown by last name, so this is how it will break down for the class of 2028. And we stick with our students for all 4 years because, like Mr. Johnner said, we really try to emphasize the relationship and how we can support our students. So that's what the counselor breakdown will be for this group. Okay, so I'd like to think of our school counseling department broken down into 3 separate categories. So we have that academic support that is making sure that the students are signing up for the classes that they need to be successful, going through the 4-year plans, which I'll start doing with the students this week in the classroom in the middle school. We also support students with maybe difficult conversations with teachers if they're having a hard time, if they need support with their homework, some study skills, things like that. So that's the academic component. Career and college planning, we do this kind of throughout their experience during high school, but a lot of emphasis in the junior year and senior year. The junior year, we start doing junior meetings, trying to help students make sure that they have a little bit of an idea as to what their path might be after high school, and also emphasizing too that if they're not sure, and if you're not sure, that's okay. We change our minds. I like to remind them that all of the school counselors, and I can say all of the administrators too, we've all had previous careers before this, so it's okay to change your mind, but we're here to help them grow and sort of guide them on that journey. And then senior year, we spend a lot of time helping them either apply for jobs or apply for colleges and making sure they have those connections to be successful after high school. And the social emotional support. So this can range anywhere from supporting students with some maybe anxiety or stress and depression. They're struggling, they've got something going on at home or something going on with their friends. We're there to support them, but we also are able to sort of refer out to our social workers. We've got 3 wonderful social workers in our building, and our students can take advantage of their supports as well. And while I'm talking about supports, I just want to highlight a couple of things because I do really want to share that it's important to us to make sure that you students and you families, right, feel supported in this transition to the high school. So we've got the lovely school nurse, I said our social workers. We have what's called the RAM Lab, and this is a place where students can go to get support for their academics. So we have a literacy specialist in there, we have math teachers, science teachers, other English teachers, and ed tech who can support students with either, if they need help with their homework, they're not sure how to study for a certain exam, maybe they need help making flashcards for an exam or something like that. So that's a great place for students to get help. You might be thinking, oh, I think my son or daughter could maybe take advantage of this. How do I make sure that they get that support? And what I would say is to reach out to myself. We'll have some contact information at the end, or somebody you're familiar with at the middle school, and they can put you in touch to make sure that's in the schedule for next year if you're interested. We're really proud of our Extended Learning Opportunities program, kind of in conjunction with Aspire Gorham. I talked about how we really believe in making sure our students are supported with their next chapter after the high school. And so we have a lot of great opportunities for students to do job shadows and internships all throughout high school. This used to be more so when they're seniors, but now we really have some great opportunities for students to get out into the community and practice those job skills and get names for themselves and really start to see what it is that brings them joy. And of course, we have our plans, our RTI plans, Section 504, and IEP plans for special education. So all that good stuff. If any of those acronyms don't make sense to you, please feel free to ask me some questions later. All right, so in order to graduate from Gorham High School, you need to earn 22 credits. So this concept of earning 1 PE, 1 health, and 5 electives. So we have 4 years for our students to earn all of those credits, which is a lot of time. Most of our students, and you'll hear from some students later, really earn a lot more credits because it's important to them to take advantage of the classes that we offer here. But there is plenty of time to do that. And then I'll just highlight too that a part of our graduation requirement to march in the ceremony is to earn 20 hours of community service, really emphasizing that relationship that we have with our community and how important that is to us. The typical 9th grade program, so what a 9th grade schedule might look like, every 9th grader is going to take English 9. They'll take a version of Algebra 1 or Geometry, Earth-Space Science, World History, a world language. We have a couple different options there, and our teachers will talk about that in a bit. Some sort of fine art, so that can include art or music or both. We have technology classes, PE. We have a teacher here who will talk about the PE options for 9th graders. And it is important to the school counselors to make sure that you as 9th graders have at least one study hall on your schedule, just because we recognize that that transition from 8th grade to 9th grade could be a lot, right? So we want to make sure you have that time to get some extra help from either support service or a teacher if you need it. I think I'm done.
You are set for now.
For now.
But don't go anywhere. You'll be back.
Thank you.
All right, let's meet some of our faculty. And I think first up we have English. So Miss Hatch, please give her a warm welcome to the stage. Oh, the mic is right on the... Sorry. We didn't talk. Do you want that? No? Do you want to walk?
It's too late now. Hi, I'm Amber Hatch, and I'm the team leader for the English department and also one of the 9th grade English teachers. We have 3 academies, and so there's an English teacher on each one, and we have the same standards that students have been working on all the way up through their education. So in reading at the 9th grade level, we focus on a mix of student choice reading and shared readings. For writing, freshman year, we do a lot of analysis of literature, but also some research writing and some narrative writing. Speaking and listening is an important standard at the freshman level as well. So students have assessments along the way where they'll either be having great group discussions or presenting to the class, but there are also plenty of opportunities to practice along the way. Next standard is research, so we practice research along the way with kids finding evidence and citing those sources, but then we have an extended big research project in the 4th quarter. After the freshman year, our English opportunities broaden out a little bit, so we add an advanced level that kids have a choice from, and then even AP levels after that. So I'm really proud of the work that we do here, and we'll do what we can to support the kids.
Thank you so much. Next up, we have Fine Arts. Mr. Murray is going to share information about both music and art. Mr. Murray?
So I have an email from our math teacher here. Oh no, I had it sitting there, don't I? Okay, we have art classes. Never mind. All right, so hello, I'm speaking for the fine arts classes. We offer music and visual art classes here. For the art, I'm speaking for visual art. They have Art 1A and Art 1B. Both of those classes are semester-long courses, so they could take just the one semester of Art 1A, or if they really want to continue with the visual art, they continue second semester in 1B. And then for students who really wish to pursue visual arts throughout their whole 4 years, there are definitely other electives in that area, Art 2 and Studio Art for art. So there are a lot of opportunities to get involved there, to continue with what they've been doing all the way through. For music, we have our choirs and our band, of course. We have a lot of students involved in that. The choirs require no experience whatsoever, so you don't have to have been singing up to this point. We welcome every and all people, whether they consider themselves singers or not. Usually we would say for concert band that students should already be playing a concert band instrument, but we are actually planning on offering a new course next year for people who would like to learn to play a new band instrument. So if you missed the boat in 5th grade and you want to learn how to play flute, clarinet, trumpet, saxophone, or something like that, we're going to have a class for that next year, in addition to our band. Also, we have some other opportunities to learn some instruments. We have a guitar lab and piano lab, which are just one semester courses, which would satisfy half of your fine arts credit. And we have a couple of other options like songwriting and music theory that we're going to be offering next year. And then we have some other options for upperclassmen later on in the year. So, like I said, you're looking for a fine arts credit, and fine arts includes art and music. So you can take one of each, or you can take 2 art classes, or you can take 2 semesters of music to satisfy that. Anything that you take after you've satisfied your fine arts credits works toward those 5.5 elective credits that you'll be looking for to graduate. So plenty of reason to continue in music and visual arts after you've achieved your fine arts credit. So I'll be down in the middle school tomorrow talking to 8th graders more if anybody has any questions. So, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. All right, instructional support. We have Miss Flowers. Please give her a welcome to the stage.
Good evening. In our department, we're able to offer programming for students who need specially designed instruction and have an IEP. Our case managers will stay with your students throughout their high school career, and we strive to build relationships that enable us to help the students transition to post-secondary life. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I know that if you have a student who has an IEP, our case managers have already started reaching out to the middle school to help with that transition from 8th grade to 9th grade. So you'll be hearing from us very shortly on that matter. And I think next up we have math, Miss Nelson from the math department.
Hi everyone. My name is Haley Nelson and I'm the math department team leader. With regards to our 9th graders, we also have 3 academies, like Ms. Hatch mentioned, for English, but some students might be off their team for their math course, depending on what level they end up getting recommended for. With regards to course offerings, we offer 2 levels of geometry, 2 levels of Algebra 1 and Geometry Advanced for 9th graders. We're also really fortunate to have math support available to students who may have some difficulty in our RAM lab with a particular algebra support class. All students are required to pass 3 years of math to meet their graduation requirements, but we very much encourage students to find additional options, and we have a large number of students who take over 4 math courses that go in high school while they're here. As students go from underclassmen to upperclassmen, we hope that they will take advantage of our many options for both advanced placement or dual enrollment stats or statistics or calculus courses. Or financial algebra as an elective, which is a half-year course where you'll have an opportunity to learn the many mathematical life skills, such as completing your taxes, general investment strategies, how to establish credit scores, loan financing, or other valuable skills. The opportunities are certainly there, and I would really encourage each of you 9th graders to find the path that works for you, but while you're on that path, try to get everything that you can out of it. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Physical education, and also probably going to talk about health. Miss Manson. Please welcome Miss Manson to the stage.
Hi, good evening. I'm Becky Manson. Here at GHS, we offer PE1 and Fitness for Life for incoming freshmen. The focus of these classes are individual physical fitness. Students will participate in weight training, group fitness activities, and you'll also complete fitness assessments. You will create goals after you do your fitness assessments, and then you'll be creating a personal fitness plan to help you reach those goals toward the end of the semester. Both classes will participate in a variety of net sports, team sports, as well as some recreational activities. And Fitness for Life is really meant for like a less competitive environment, just for the 8th graders that are going to be signing up. After successful completion in Phys Ed or Fitness for Life, students will choose from 2 options for their other half of credit for PE, and it'll be net games or team sports, and that is going to be offered and taught by Mr. Myers. students are required to take that full credit for phys ed. In your sophomore year, you'll take health, and Miss Drury or Miss Corey will be teaching that. And then in your junior or senior year, you will be taking a new class that we have created called Health After High School. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's see, next up, Science. Mr. King, representing the Science Department. Let's welcome Mr. King.
Hello, I'm Tim King, and it's always nice to have a new group of kids coming into high school so I can see how many kids that I had their parents that I taught also. Yeah, but anyway, you do need 3 science credits to graduate. For a freshman year, we have 2 options. We have Earth-Space Science and Earth-Space Science Advanced. The topics we cover are mainly geology, oceanography, astronomy, and meteorology, and with a strong emphasis on study skills. So that's what freshman science looks like.
Very nice. Raise your hand if you have Mr. King here. Look at that. Very nice. All right, next up, Social Studies, Mr. Welch, representing the Social Studies Department. Welcome, Mr. Welch. Sorry, Mr. King.
All right. My name is James Welch. I'm the Social Studies team leader. It's nice to see everybody here tonight. For freshman offerings, we have the team structure, the academy structure, where World History 1 is our main offering. In World History 1, we cover everything from ancient history, foundations of civilization and government, major world religions, all the way through the Middle Ages and Renaissance. Grouping is heterogeneous for these courses, and there is an available honors challenge by request for students. After freshman year, like English, our topics kind of broaden and the classes that we offer broaden. Sophomore year is U.S. History. We have an American Studies course or an AP World U.S. History course. Junior year, we also have World History 2 or the AP World History offering. And then after that, or actually any time in high school, we offer a number of electives that can count towards those 5 elective credits in the student's graduation schedule. We offer the Holocaust, Power and Privilege, American Civil War, Philosophy for Life, which is like a sociology and philosophy introductory course, contemporary issues in American politics, economics, AP Psychology, AP African American History, and a new course on Model United Nations that will actually feature the main Model United Nations conference as part of its requirement. But we encourage students to spread their wings in the Social Studies Department, check out a bunch of different things that we have to offer. We have a great staff. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Technology Department, Mr. Perkins. Welcome, Mr. Perkins.
So hi, I'm Andy Perkins. I represent the technology. And technology is lots of things. But before I go that far, Mr. King and I were speaking before we got here. Hard to believe, both of us, I believe, have the same number of years. 35 years ago, I would never have thought I would be the old person sitting on this stage. Since I haven't taught all 35 here, but I also went to school here. So I've been here for a long time. Technology can be everything from what most of us would call industrial arts. That is me. I'm the most hands-on, physical, able to hurt yourself if you really try hard. You shouldn't do that. But we offer, and then we have everything from digital media to video production classes. So we kind of do the whole gamut of stuff under the umbrella of technology. You need 1 technology credit to graduate. Probably 90% of you will see me next fall because we offer something called Intro to Technology. And what that does, it gives you a sample of all 3 of us. And you rotate every 6 weeks. So you spend 6 weeks with me, then you go to another section, then you go to the 3rd section, and give you a chance to see what you like. And then, same as everybody else, we have all kinds of other electives, from robotic type stuff to my woodshop type stuff to video production and everything else. And you'll see more of that after your freshman year when we're done. So, and one more thing, when we talk about, students will speak in a few minutes, I had 3 boys who went through here, all very different. One overachiever, one was probably my brightest, and tried to stay under the radar, and he went the military route. And then I had a third one who kept saying, I'm not as smart as my brothers, but he makes more money than the rest of us. This is why he makes it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And last but not least, we have Miss Gontris representing the World Language Department.
Hi everybody, I'm Miss Gontris. I'm also an alumna of Gorham High School, but very recent, 2019. So I got back here just about as soon as I could. So I teach Spanish 1 and 2 here. Here we go. So the World Language Department offers Spanish, Latin, and French for all 4 years. So most people who are going to take it start out as a freshman and they just keep going. So an incoming student gets to choose out of those 3. They just choose and then they keep going. Each year a world language counts as an elective credit. So any world language class you take counts toward those 5.5, like immediately. So if you take 4, that could be 4 of your 5.5 electives, just right off the bat. So as all of you students think about post-secondary opportunities and paths, you should also keep in mind colleges look for 2 to 3 years of a world language. Like that's kind of the threshold they like to see. So you could just take 1, but if you're thinking about college, keep that 2 to 3 in mind. We do have a large amount of students who continue into 4 years. So what 4 years looks like for Spanish and French is you can do a dual enrollment situation. So when you have dual enrollment, you take it through USM, but at Gorham High School with the teachers you have all 4 years. And then it looks a little different when you take Latin. So you take AP Latin, and you can take what's called a seal of biliteracy test. And if you get that, then you get college credits as well. And you get 8 college credits. So if you get 8 college credits, that's like you took that language for 2 semesters in college. So you really want to try to work toward that if you want to go to college, because it gets you a head start. But yeah, we're really excited to see all of you next year and get to know all of you in our world language courses. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So in addition to classes here at Gorham High School, we also have a partnership with both WRVC, that's Westbrook Regional Vocational Center, and PATS, Portland Arts and Technology High School, where they offer so many different courses for students who are thinking about careers in a technology-related field, an industrial field. We send approximately 100 students to these schools every year. They offer great programs that also receive college credit, and perhaps more importantly, they receive certifications that create direct pathways into careers. As you heard Mr. Perkins say, making a really good salary. So, you know, we have a lot of students that graduate from Gorham High School that go to college, but the reality is that college is not for everybody. And there are a lot of careers that you can graduate from Gorham High School, go directly in making a good salary without a lot of the debt that college offers. So this is something that we're really proud of, and in addition to this, we have really expanded through our Aspire Gorham work the number of ELOs. You heard Ms. Texera mention ELO. It stands for Extended Learning Opportunity. So think internships, workplace learning experiences, something that you want to learn about that isn't necessarily in our program of studies. You work with us, typically in a junior or senior year. We create an individualized program for you. So right now we have students working at Carter's in Gorham. We have students working in doctor's offices. We have a student who has done 2 years in a veterinary hospital earning credit for that work and incredible life experiences. Just imagine, as a 17-year-old, what she is seeing working in a vet hospital, everything from puppies to having to euthanize animals. It's incredible experiences, all facilitated through her experience here at Gorham High School. We're really proud of this work. So in addition to that, you heard a couple of our staff mention early college credits. We are so proud to say that we have a partnership with USM as well as SMCC and other colleges in our area where students can graduate from Gorham High School earning a total of 30+ college credits. In fact, last year, students at Gorham High School earned over 1,500 college credits. Do the math. At $270 per in-state college credit tuition, that is well over $300,000 that we have saved the community of Gorham, and we're incredibly proud of that. And that's all through the courses that you can take here at Gorham High School and WRVC and CAS. All right, you heard me say, be here every day. Obviously, unless you're sick. But you gotta be here, showing up, half the battle, right? Do your homework. We've done lots of research. And the two things, show up, do your homework, but also be involved. There are lots of opportunities here. We have academic clubs, leadership clubs, service organizations. Our Interact Club has over 100 students involved in it. And these clubs here are always looking for ways to give back to community. 42 other active clubs. I said to the students yesterday, if you have an idea for a club, just work with a staff member and we make it happen. I think this year alone we've added 5 different clubs. We have our newest club is a dialogue club. Student wanted to just have a club organization after school where they can talk about what's going on in the world and all the things that they're hearing on the news, and so we have a club just to be able to talk about those things. It's pretty cool, the opportunities that exist here, the vast opportunities that exist here. Obviously, we have a ton of sports options. There's fall, winter sports. We're going into our spring sports season. And what I love most about our athletic program is the amount of conversations that we have about character. What does it mean to play hard, to be a good teammate, to give back to community? Be involved. Be here, do your homework, be involved. All right. I think it's time we hear from some students. So we're going to hear from some live students, actually here in the house, but we've got a short video from a student before we get going. So Clara is going to lead it off.
I'm Clara Cajuste, and I'm a senior here at Gorham High School. When it comes to learning opportunities, I just had a superior lineup this year. I kind of just loved all my teachers. I think I run into AP statistics a little nervous. Wrong.
What did you come up with?
A nasty number.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not using the standard deviation. Hold on. I was using the mean. I was like, this is a gross number. Mr. Berthium made it very easy to kind of digest it and still kind of be prepared and still have us ready for a test. They put their time and effort into coming up with these lectures, these slideshows. Mr. Landry finds all these labs, he creates them, he puts in the work outside of our singular class. And once you realize that, I think it's much easier to create a connection with them. J'aime le tennis, j'aime le volleyball, et j'aime regarder le football américain. No, le football. I think having hands-on and interactive learning through high school is one of my favorite things, actually. It kind of creates a different type of learning. Madame Chevette's, her French game is actually really cool. These are games that exist in the US, obviously. Now you do it in a different language. But in English, I did a lyrical analysis of Bohemian Rhapsody. Mr. Savage is very big on showing us that like language is used everywhere. I think whether it's through speaking, through writing, through music, through anything you do in life, you will use language. So I think them showing us that like the things we learn in their classrooms won't end the second we graduate in June is really cool. I think that's what's my favorite part of interactive learning. It really does connect it back to our real lives and how we're gonna use it outside of our little high school bubble. I'm in band. I've been in band since 4th grade. It's a sport. You can get 40 to 50 people, depending on the year, to feel the same rhythm. The connection we have is very unique, and we're the only group of kids who can be like, we've been in the same class together for the past 8 years. So I think that's the coolest aspect for me. Sigma Red Ready Mix. Let's do 150. Dual enrollment is actually really cool. You are enrolled as a Gorham High School student, and that is your main school. And you also enrolled as a University of Southern Maine student. Some are run through Southern Maine Community College, but most are run through USM. So dual enrollment means that you are taught by a high school teacher and you're in a high school classroom, but you're following the USM curriculum. It's your teachers that you know and love. You're with your peers, your age. If you need help, you're emailing out to people you see every day. You will get your high school credit. Simultaneously, you'll also get your college credit, and when you graduate high school, if you go to a school that accepts your credits, you get to go to college with a big step up. The dual enrollment system is very nice, and it's such a great opportunity because for kids like me who really do want to go that next step collegiately, it's a huge advantage. And even me, I'm going to an out-of-state college, and they're still accepting it as electives. I think the Civil Rights team is a welcoming, safe place for everybody in our school. And if you have any interest in showing others that you care and you want to make Gorham High School a more welcoming place, I think the Civil Rights team is the place for you. That's another cool thing about Gorham is that the opportunity to find clubs that are more than just clubs. I think it's just a place to really show love, and it's a place to feel truly safe for an hour to an hour and a half. That's 3. You got the top 4. Your turn gets skipped, and now it's my turn. Adopt a Classroom, I signed up for it the first go around, and I think kind of means everything. I think connecting our K through 12 is a big thing that a lot of school systems struggle with. My little brother, he's a 3rd grader. He's at the elementaries, and I've been in his Adopt a Classroom since he was a kindergartner. I think he loves it and I love it, and having it within our own household is fascinating. We have so many kids that do Adopt a Classroom. We have kids fully in the theaters and the arts. We have kids who are 3-season varsity athletes. We have me who does a lot of extracurriculars and civil rights. Having all types of role models I think is so important. We talk about like the mirrors in their windows about children. They need to see themselves, and they also need to see what others can be like. I think that's really cool. The biggest thing I love about Gorham is the opportunities. We pride ourselves on making sure everybody has access to these things, you know? You still have the opportunity to be involved. Teachers are willing to support you, and I think that's just so important for Gorham. Literally my senior quote was, get involved. I did get involved, and I loved it. So I think that's the best.
Isn't she awesome? You to Gorham High School. In just a second, we're going to invite, in fact, if you guys want to get ready, we have a bunch of activities that are coming up over the course of the rest of this year and over the summer and the fall before school starts. If you want to keep in touch with us, we do have an active Instagram account. Mr. Spear, our athletic director, keeps an active Twitter, I guess now X account. Email, first dot last name at Gorham Schools, and we have a really great new app. So if you have an iPhone, please go to the App Store. If you have an Android, go to their App Store and download our app. It has a ton of information on it. And then our website is also really active. You can find a ton of things on here. If you go under academics, you can find course syllabi and curriculum. Under student life, there's a ton of information. And we have actually created a webpage just for this class. And let's just check that out real quick because, oh, what is this? This is interesting.
Hi, I'm Sophia, and here are 5 helpful things to know before going into high school. It's important to listen to the daily announcements and check emails to keep updated for sports and club meetings. There's also a new GHS app that sends notifications right to your device. Communication is important. You have to be a strong advocate for yourself. The staff are not only here to educate you, but to help you be your best self. The high school's really big. If you ever feel lost, there are signs in the hallways and on classroom doors. Also, don't be afraid to ask a teacher for directions. The school counselors are very welcoming. You can always walk into the guidance office and talk to whoever is available. If you're looking to talk with your assigned counselor, you could always schedule an appointment with the lovely lady at the front desk, Miss Hughes. Any challenges you may be going through, inside or outside of school, guidance is always here to help you through it.
Sophia and Wyland, let's give them a big round of applause. I mean, they're not even students here yet, and they're already welcoming their classmates to Gorham High School. All right, let's meet Chloe, Ellery, and Isaac, 3 GHS current students with Miss Texera, and they have organized a bunch of questions that they want to kind of go through with all of you. So let me get this mic so you can have both mics, and I'm going to step out of your way.
Are we ready? Is this one too? Yeah, it is. All right, so why don't you guys introduce yourselves, tell us your grade and maybe your favorite thing. It's cliche, I'm sorry, but it's good to know. Your favorite thing about being a high school student in Gorham.
My name is Chloe Blanchard. I'm a senior. One of my favorite things, it's really hard, but I definitely think the opportunities, like there are so many opportunities that we will talk about in a little bit, but it's unbelievable, really.
I'm Isaac Young. I'm a senior, and I like extracurricular activities, sports, and all that things.
My name is Ellery Herrick. I'm a junior, and one of my favorite things is just getting involved in the community and being able to just be part of things that outside of Gorham you probably wouldn't be able to get involved in.
What are some aspects of high school that are different to middle school?
Like I said, I think the opportunities and the fact that your schedule is very different. Like it varies depending on who you are as a student. You get to be very selective about that. Like whereas in middle school, I feel like you have your teams and you kind of have the same classes that you all kind of go around to. But the classes are very selective to you. Like this year, I had the opportunity to finish out getting a full year of college credits, full year worth of college credits, and then now I'm doing job shop. So it's like you get to experience so many different things within your own schedule.
Yeah, so to kind of add on to that, I would say something that's a little different is you don't have lockers. You walk around with your backpack all day, and you got everything right in your backpack. You don't have to transition to your locker and head to class. You just go straight from class to class. It makes it a lot more easier.
Another big thing is the classes are longer. Like the classes in middle school, like Chloe said, you have 8 periods a day. And in high school, you have 4 periods a day, which means that you're getting more time to focus with that teacher, and you're getting more time in that class to really, like, at the end, if you really need to, get help with either homework, missing assignments, anything. Just even if you don't understand the lesson, just being able to get that extra, like, help in hand. And I think the classes are 85 minutes long, so it's not as long as you think. Like when you're sitting in the class, it's not as long as you think it is. Like they fly by.
Isaac, did you ever get lost? I'm asking Isaac on purpose.
I'd say like freshman year, kind of getting used to the high school, might like not know where your class is, but there's so many helpful things around the school, like the signs and numbers on like doors and stuff, and there's always teachers you can ask for help, so you can get lost, but you find your way pretty easily.
Do either of you guys have anything to add to that? I think you answered it well.
I mean, like you, especially since you have only 4 classes, I mean you have 8 classes, but 4 and 4, you kind of just have a specific route that you can follow around the school. And then if you do find yourself wandering, it's pretty much just a circle, you'll find out. So you'll get back to where you were eventually.
Can you talk about the extracurricular activities that you're each involved in and maybe what you recommend for an incoming 9th grade student to get involved in?
I would say, especially like being in my senior year, I think you should just get as involved as you can. You can't really go wrong. I mean, you don't want to look back and say, oh, I wish I had done that. So I say really just get involved in anything you can. With that being said, I'm in quite a lot of things. I am the vice president of my class, a vice president of a couple clubs, of National Honor Society. But it's all about just balance. You have to find what works for you and what interests you, because you don't want to dedicate a lot of your time because it doesn't really interest you. But I love the amount of people that I get to work with through those clubs and extracurriculars. So that's why I like doing it.
Yeah, so I play football, basketball, and baseball, and I really love all the sports here. I think that's what I like. But kind of like what Chloe said, it's all about a balance at the end of the day. You do, I would say, do as much as you can while you still have time to do your homework and do everything else you love. So just balancing the time.
I am a part of a couple sports teams, whether that's managing the sports teams or playing sports. I play soccer and I manage the girls basketball team, and then this upcoming spring I'll be helping out with the lacrosse team, taking pictures for baseball, softball, track, all of that. Also with Texera, she's my class officer, the junior class are officers, so I am the class secretary, and so I just would say try to get involved, especially with Interact. I know Miss Nelson, do you know? Yeah. Miss Nelson runs Interact Club, and they definitely get a lot of community service hours in, and it's a very easy way to get all those 20 hours, because you do need 20 hours to walk a stage. Getting those 20 hours in as early as possible, so Texera is not chasing you down at the end of the year saying, you need to get these in while you're a senior. It's so much easier to get everything done towards the beginning so that you have more time to do the things that you start to find you love.
How does the homework load compare to the middle school? Is it more, is it less, what is it like?
I feel like going into your freshman year, like, you ease into it a lot, and then from there, because your options expand a lot, I think it's up to you and your workload based off your classes. So obviously if you're taking like college level classes, AP classes, or advanced classes, you're definitely going to have more work, which is understandable. You're pushing yourself to the next level by going into those advanced classes. But if that's not for you, then the classes are flexible and you work with your schedule. So yeah.
Have anything to add, just managing your time.
Good job, boy. Let's see. Is it true that you have a lot more freedom in high school compared to middle school?
Definitely, 100%. Pretty much you learn that, I mean, obviously you still have your parents and you're still going through high school, but you're pretty much on your own. Like, you learn to be an advocate for yourself, and you reach out to your teachers, and they're not going to chase you down and come to you if you miss an assignment or something like that. Like, you are accountable for you, and so you have to get yourself to class on time, and you have to get your homework in on time. So it's a lot more of yourself and your responsibility than of your parents or your teachers. So I think that's a big difference.
Freedom in high school?
We are, especially with like seniors and juniors, having more, I know right now we're on a trial basis with junior privileges, so depending on eligibility, you'll get one study hall that you're able to leave the school as if it's senior privileges, which you get to get all your study halls, depending on,
We also have senior privileges, so junior privileges is new. I didn't even really hear about it until I got it. But senior privileges.
Surprise!
But senior privileges is every study hall you have. That's a lot of responsibility. because you are able to leave the building and kind of do your own thing during that time. You have to make sure you're still getting back to your classes, you're still doing your work, but it gives you that more freedom. Because during study halls, you can't leave your classes. You have to stay in your assigned study hall, so that is nice.
So Ellery, you are a student in the Medical Occupations program at WRVC. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So a big thing is workload. Workload in medical occupations is extremely higher than it is at Gorham High School, and that's more because it's a college level class that I'm taking. You can enroll in either WRVC or PATHS, which out of Portland, I attend the Westbrook location, but it's just a way to kind of get those, like we talk about, college credits and have like that eligibility for out of school. Like when I graduate, if I pass my tests and I keep up with my grades, I'll be a certified nursing assistant right outside of senior year. So instead of having to go to college and spend all that money, I'm doing it for free at Gorham High School. And next year we'll go into clinicals, so I'll be going into like nursing homes and just elderly living facilities and kind of helping out with their ADLs, which are activities of daily living. So just kind of getting dressed, like bathing, eating, drinking, all those things that they can't necessarily do by themselves, just being able to help out. And it does, like, I've made some of my best friends just by attending WRVC, and it is a lot more time that you end up putting into it because it takes up 4 periods of your 8 period schedule. Even though you have 4 periods a day, it's 2 classes. As for juniors, it's 2 classes in the morning, it's 2 periods in the morning each day. So it does add up to 4 periods of your day. So it doesn't leave a lot of time for like cramming in a bunch of classes, but if you work hard your freshman and sophomore year and that's something you're really interested in, I would work towards getting your like electives in freshman and sophomore year and all of those classes that you really need. That way, as you go to your junior and senior year, you aren't struggling to cram everything in, because that gets pretty stressful.
No, it's okay. You like what you're doing, and we love that. So the last question that I have for you all is, what would you say that parents and guardians can do to best support their students in high school? Maybe something that's worked for you and your family. You answered this last year, Chloe. You had a head start.
I thought I was very direct about it. I'll try to be nicer. I feel like just being understanding about the student's workload. Like sometimes it is really hard, and sometimes maybe you can't unload the dishwasher. Maybe you have too much stuff to do in school. Not saying that
That's exactly what she said last year.
But just giving them a little bit of grace, because it can be stressful, and sometimes kids can't always express that stress load. But it's definitely just nice to be able to come home and have a little bit of a break while still having to manage the homework and everything else.
Yeah, I would just say to add on that, like communication, asking how they're doing and if they need any help with anything.
Like balancing out your classes and kind of talking with a parent about your classes and really like expressing your workload and like showing them kind of how much you have to do, what you're exactly learning can also be helpful. Like your parents all like went to school at one point. So they do.
Ellery's mom is in the house right now. Just throwing it out there.
So it is kind of like, my brother's going to be coming up next year. He was in the video. But he will be like, just kind of having like either a sibling or a parent to talk to about like the stress level and really not letting it like overwhelm you. Like being able to talk to your guidance counselors, the parents about just all of the work. That way you don't really get stressed out. If you start to stress out, it's just going to go spiraling and it's going to get worse. So you might as well take that advantage while you can before it gets too bad. I know me and my mom have had our moments of taking a little, where's
communication is key.
I actually want to tell a little quick story about each of you that I think represents, I know.
They didn't know that this was
They didn't know
happening.
this, and I really just thought of it as I was listening to each of you, because I'm really proud of the culture that we've established here. One where we really lend to the student voices. We really value student voices here, and I think of my first time meeting Ellery, I had actually invited a group of students to get feedback about the school, how are things going. And Ellery pulled me aside afterward and she said, there's a student I know who is having a really hard time in some desks, right? Remember the story? And she was telling me about the student who was really struggling. He didn't have the confidence to come forward, but she advocated for him. And we were able, because of Ellery speaking up, we were able to get new desks for this particular student in all of his classes to make his experience here at Gorham High School better. And I think that really speaks to Ellery, but it also speaks to the culture that we tried to establish here. And I think about Isaac, who is the quarterback, was the quarterback of our football team. And you think about maybe all that might mean, but Isaac is one of the kindest, hardest working people that I've had a chance to meet. And what I want you to know about Isaac is, well, actually, let me ask you this, Isaac. Did you have anything to do with any of the videos that we watched tonight? So Isaac came forward earlier this year and said, I really want to pursue my interest in video production. And so he's been working with a staff member here and totally organized his own course of study, has spent time during his so-called study hall actually pursuing this program, our ELO program, to get credit, and he created content that we are all enjoying here tonight because of what he has learned in his hard work. And then maybe we should talk a little bit about our composting program. So Chloe came to me 2 years ago and said, why don't we have composting? They have composting at the middle school, we should have composting here. And so we had staff looking into this and really struggling to make connections with Garbage to Garden. And Chloe comes in, it was during the summertime, in fact. Chloe comes in, she has a whole PowerPoint presentation ready to go, and had reached out to Garbage to Garden, had a contract that she wanted me to sign. I think we were at that point. And she single-handedly led us to establish a composting program here, to the point where she and Isaac actually created a video where they wrote a rap about composting that we watched as an entire school. Okay. You want to watch it?
No, I was kidding. I
No, okay. They wrote a rap, filmed this video, and led us to establish a composting program. And I think all three of those stories really talk about the type of culture that we have here. It's welcoming culture. It's a culture where student voice matters, where students can speak up and we listen. It's a partnership, right? So please give them a really big round of applause. Let's see, just over an hour. That's our presentation tonight. The next time you'll be invited back will be for an open house that we'll have toward the middle end of August, where you'll have a chance to come in, tour the building, you'll have your schedules, and then we'll have a night like this that is actually more for parents. And it's the nuts and bolts about what the high school experience is like. And we'll talk about things like social media. And what are some tips for parents if you think that your son or daughter might be addicted to their iPhone or their Android device? And we'll talk about, when you're talking to a teacher, what questions do you ask in order to really get to the heart of the matter of what's going on with your son or daughter? So thank you all for coming out. We are so excited to welcome the class of 2028. Have a great evening.